Oh, yeah. What's going on, everybody? What's going on? If you got a little bit more gas left, come on, hang with me. Welcome to the Big Time Show podcast that is being seen and heard live here on Podbean and here on Facebook, here on YouTube, Twitter, and Twitch. What is going on? I don't even have to ask you guys what's going on. I mean, I already know what's going on. We know what's going on. The NFL draft is over for us as the Cowboys, and we have done what we are going to do draft wise. It is what it is. I kind of hinted towards some of the stuff yesterday, but we're going to talk about it for a little bit today. You guys will run this show on today. I ask the questions, and then I'll let you guys kind of respond. I guess I'm sharing right now, Jenna, as you guys should know by now. I don't even see you. I will say hello to everybody that is there. Why don't you guys help your boy out and share real quick? I'm not expecting a lot of people because folks just tired right now. You know what I'm saying? They've been watching the draft, the third round, all the way down to the fourth round, all the way down to the seventh round today. Folks just tired now. So, but today is the Big Time Show podcast. I'm gonna say what I need to say. You know, very interesting stuff today. Very interesting. No doubt about it. I don't know how some of you guys. First thing, I guess I can start here. Cowboy fans, I love my family, the Cowboy family, but the Cowboy family will never be satisfied. I mean, you could have drafted 3 All-Pros, and somebody gonna say something like, "Why we do that?" Or it's just Cowboy fans are. I can talk about y'all because I'm one, and I've been one for a long time. So. We have some realistic Cowboy fans that are grounded, and then we have some Cowboy fans that are just flat out delusional. Now we all family, but we got to call it like it is. We have Cowboy fans that think that every draft pick is supposed to be a first-team All-Pro or a Heisman Trophy winner. Or a All-American, every pick. And if it ain't one of these guys that we, hadn't called out, the opinion is that it's trash. And let's just be honest, if you don't mind. Most of you guys do not know none of these players. Come on, y'all. Let's be realistic. Unless you're one of these Cowboy fans now that are really like real live scouts. If you're like one of those, then you know all these players. I can name a few guys that I know. Maybe let me look and see if I see some in here. Matter of fact, hey, Miss Ty, E. Cush is in here. What's going on? Let me go to Podbean. All right, what's going on, Podbean? I see you. All right, listen. The Cowboys. I ain't gonna stop. I'm gonna stop talking about you fans. I ain't gonna say nothing. Y'all get mad and all that. But let's just be truthful. You don't know half the guys that we picked. It's just, can we be realistic? You know what I'm saying? Hey, Coach Price, E. Cush is here. E. Cush kind of knows some of the players because we in a big group, and that's all we talk is football. So a lot of the guys that I'm with kind of take their fandom to the next level. They know people. Coach Price here. Coach Price knows most of these players. I ain't talking about your top. What's up, Greg? I see you. I'm not talking about these top guys in the first round. I'm talking about down in the dirt. I'm talking about the 4th and 5th and 6th round. These guys that you don't even know about. These are the type of people that some of these people that are on here They do know about them. Okay. They watch film. They have studied them. So they're calling some of these names out. So I'll give leeway to them. But let's just be honest. Most of our Cowboy fans, they don't know. Or they're leaning on somebody else and start talking about it. I said all of that to say this. This is what I'm trying to say. When you look at the draft today, and well, start from round one. When you look at the overall draft of what we did, ladies and gentlemen, of course, this is just my opinion. In my opinion, is not the end all, whatever. But when you look at what Cowboys have done in this draft, which is right there. Need you to look at the names real quick. When you see, let's look, okay? Let's just look. Tyra Smith, Sam Williams, Jaylen Toby, wide receiver, Jake Ferguson, tight end. I'm sorry, I can't pronounce his name. Walla Lusco, whatever his name is, another offensive tackle. Deron Bland, cornerback. Damian Clark, linebacker. John Ridgway, who's a nose guard, 321 pounds, played in Arkansas. You ain't watched his tape, I suggest you go look at it because it might make you smile. You understand? Devin Harper, linebacker. When you look at what we've done, they did what everybody wanted them to do. They got offensive line help. That's what most of you guys asked for. You asked for another wide receiver. They got a wide receiver. And you asked for linebacker. That's what you asked for. That's what you asked for. The problem is you don't know these names. That's what the problem is. The needs that most of the fan base said, at least applaud yourself because you and the Cowboys were on the same page. Most of everybody said offensive line, wide receiver, linebacker. That's mostly what we heard. That's what I've been preaching. They obviously, not because I said it, but obviously they obviously were on the same page as we are. Okay? Because I just said that, let me go ahead and say, I think the Cowboys did a solid job in the draft. First things first. This was really not a superstar type draft. It was not. Once you got past just a few names, okay, everybody, the gap was not huge. I mean, it really wasn't. Once you get past Hutchinson and, the kid from Oregon, and you may have the tackle from Alabama, Neal. I mean, these guys, Sauce, the cornerback, the names go on. Once you get past those names, I mean, it's really not a superstar type draft. It's not. It wasn't. And the Cowboys did, I believe, a great. Well, I think they did an outstanding job. You ask me. Except one pick for me. One pick. I started here, and then I let you guys kind of take over. I did not like the pick, the linebacker from LSU. I did not like that. Clark. I didn't like that. I didn't like that. I didn't like the pick. The reason why, and let me be honest with you, I don't like the pick because, and I know he's in much better shape than I am, without a doubt. I mean, I saw a picture of him now, and he looks great, and I'm quite sure he may have had maybe a different result. But I too had a spinal back fusion surgery not too long ago, maybe 2 years ago now. I had it, but that kid is 20-something years old, and I'm almost 50. So I mean, I'm not comparing. I'm just saying I do know about the back, because if you had spinal fusion, usually you've had other stuff prior to that surgery. I had one other major surgery prior to my spinal fusion surgery. When you start chopping at your back, it's not good. I'm a witness to that. I have a permanent stimulator inside of me now, because even after the spinal fusion surgery, see, one thing about the back, you don't know the results until afterwards. Right now, I have 4 screws and 2 rods in my back right now, and everything is perfect. They have kind of like what they put in between where my disc is just completely gone. It's kind of remind you the earplugs that you have you put in your ear maybe when you're flying a plane. Just imagine those earplugs. That's what's in between, and you get the screws there. And the 2 rods on the side and the 4 screws that'll keep everything in place. So your back is actually jacked up like a tire, a flat tire, and they just lock it in place. That's the fusion. All right. So I'm there, but what I had to find out after my fusion surgery, that the pain I was experiencing was not because of the surgery, because I was fixed. I had permanent nerve damage, but I had to go through all that to finally somebody say, well, Mr. Brooks, you have permanent nerve damage. Now, I don't know what the young kid has, but what we do know is he's probably going to miss. He's going to miss next year, without a doubt. He's not going to play. And we will see. And, of course, it helps you to be in great shape. When you have nerve damage, it's almost like your leg wants to give away if it flares up. It's like you're not moving as fast. You're not there. Now, hopefully for him, maybe he'll have different results than I had. That hopefully the fusion fixed everything. And that way he does not have the pain in his hip or going down his leg, or maybe his back is wherever the real major pain is. Hopefully that is fixed. But even then, good God, playing the linebacker position, can you imagine the collisions that he's going to have? And that has to jolt yourself. So I'm not just 100%, the Cowboys love getting these projects, the Jaylen Smiths, you know what I'm saying? Those type guys that you're willing to wait on 2 years and all that kind of stuff. I didn't want that. I didn't just quite like that pick. Then to cover themselves, they come back around in the 6th round and pick up Devin Harper, another linebacker. If you ask me, I believe that they got that for just insurance for the picking Clark. They're going to wait on him. But when you're talking about back injuries, man, I'm a witness. I don't have to ask nobody. I can tell you myself. It's nothing. It's hard, though. It's hard. And I've had three back surgeries. One of them was the spinal fusion. It's hard. Hey, Patrick Nelson, what's going on? Other than that pick, I love the draft. I love what we did. These are not all pros. So, but for solidarity, for what the needs were and the goal, you can tell by the way that they pick, they really are concerned about the offensive line. They are. And they need to be. They addressed it. Now, I don't know if these players are good. Are we going to find out? Yeah, I don't know. But they addressed what we all for months, since we lost to the 49ers in the playoff game, they did exactly what most of us asked. And they were thinking the same thing. Offensive line, wide receiver, linebacker. They picked 2 linebackers. One of them are not going to play. And see, keep in mind, y'all, free agency is coming. Okay? Free agency is coming. So there's still some stuff out there. When we get to training camp, cuts are going to happen. You can pick people up then. So it's not over. It's just this is a pretty good foundation. All right. Here's another thing that happened in the draft. Now, because you guys don't know some of these players, a lot of you don't know what they bring to the table. A lot of y'all got ticked off by the pick of Tyra Smith, the first overall pick for the Cowboys, without knowing, because your mind was so fixated on Zion Johnson and Kenyon Green, you forgot that there were some other guys in the draft. See? And when we said Tyra Smith, when we had Dean there, you had Williams out of Florida State, you had oh my God, who else we had right there? You had about 3 guys who the Cowboy fans have been calling out all off season. They were right there. Could have picked them. They give you a total monkey wrench and went and got Tyra Smith. But y'all didn't see that main tape, did you? Y'all didn't see the dog that's in him. Y'all didn't see that, did you? No, y'all didn't see it. Y'all didn't see it. You didn't see it. You didn't see how this man physically dominates people. You didn't see how this kid move people against their will. What's up, Kevin? I see y'all got mad when y'all saw Tyler go up there. Y'all didn't, but I've already watched the kid. This dude moves people against their will. The nastiness that he has. See, when the only person y'all heard of nastiness in the draft on the offensive line, the only person y'all heard about was the kid from Northern Iowa, Penning, whatever his name is, Manning or whatever. Trevor Penning. That's the only thing y'all say. He nasty. Y'all nasty. He's nasty. But you ain't hear nothing about no other lineman. Let me tell you something. In case some of y'all haven't watched, please go watch Tyra Smith tape. And then I want you to do this. Cause see, y'all, we gotta start thinking when we do stuff. All right, listen. The Cowboys were not picking an offensive tackle, all right, for the sake of having just you don't draft in the first round to go get a backup. No, you don't do that. We all know Terrence Steele is going to be our starting right tackle, and as long as Tyra Smith is healthy, he's going to be our left tackle. Get over that. We already know that. You're not drafting. Some of y'all say, he's a tackle. Why are we drafting? It's like, what are the Cowboys doing? What are the Cowboys doing? Me personally, I wanted Dean. I wanted defense because I felt like and I still feel like it, that the strongest unit of our team next year will be our defense. So my opinion was, let's go ahead and stack up hard early on the defense to strengthen that part. And then we'll attack the offensive line. Because there was plenty of offensive linemen there. Some good ones. Some real good ones. There's a lot of good ones that came off the board today. I wanted that part. I wanted Dean. I would have took Williams from Florida State. I would have took him. I would have took him. But they decided to go offensive line. Now watch this. I was not mad about it. I wasn't mad about it at all. I'm cool. I don't mind it. But when you look at this dude tape, Tyra Smith, let me tell y'all something. The part that we need in this offense, we need some dogs, man. We need some guys that are going to bring some attitude, not this finesse football. No. Give me some guy that's going to knock your teeth down your throat. That's what we need. That's what this guy is. I need y'all to go look at it. Okay? I need y'all to go peep him out. Now, here's the other part. Do y'all really think the Cowboys drafted him at 24 for him to be a backup backup swing tackle? No. He's going to play guard. He's going to play left guard. That's why you draft him there. So now what you about to have on your left side, if Tyron Smith is anywhere what he is, you're going to have some dominance on that left side. Now, We know about the penalties. I heard about that. This is where coaching comes in. This is where, and I'm gonna get, and I know Coach Price is gonna come on here in a minute on this call-in line. Coach, let me go on before you. I know you're gonna go off, but I need you to tell the people when I open up these lines, how do you coach out? Or how do you coach offensive line penalties? Give our people some insight on that, and when I'm gonna open it up for you in a minute. But give us, go on, formulate that for me real quick, because I don't know everything. I know some things about that, but I'll take it from your word. How do you? What's going on, Miller? What's going on, Patrick Nelson? What's going on? But that left side, ladies and gentlemen, look. If y'all were high on Terrence Steele, we already know what Zach Martin is. We know how dominant he is. We saw how dominant Steele was from the right tackle position. Okay. You know what Tyra Smith can do as long as he's somewhat healthy. You know what he gonna do. I'm telling y'all, this kid right here, he gonna knock some. The way, let me put it this way. How about we just do this? The way y'all was seeing Connor Williams get pushed to the backfield, that's not gonna happen. Now, it's not. It's not. The way y'all saw Vita Vale destroy Tyler and Connor Williams Vita Vale from Tampa Bay, the way they pushed them back, that's not going to happen anymore. I'm just telling you, this kid is special. I ain't gonna say it, let me take it back. I like the possibilities of that left side now. What you're also saying, let's fast forward a little bit. For those that do not know about Jake Ferguson, the tight end who we picked up in the 4th round. Y'all saw how he catch the ball. But if you were listening, you also know when you pull up his scouting report, he is a great blocker in the run game. What did I tell y'all a couple weeks ago? That I would not be surprised if the Cowboys draft a tight end pretty high. And then the 12 personnel will come into play with the Cowboys. For those that don't know, 2 tight ends set, 1 running back. They are showing, look, now y'all already know what the real wild card is. It's Kellen Moore. But what they have done, hey, Tavis, what they have done is at least put the pieces there, because what you're getting ready to see, or it looks like it, they finally about to figure out that they need to run the football. And they are putting the right pieces in place that they say we just gonna smash it down your throat. I love it. I hope, we have to talk about that later. Exactly, Greg. See, a lot of people don't know about Ferguson. Well, here's your homework. When you get off here with me or whatever, if you leave here now, at least go check out, if you haven't, go look at Tyler Smith. Then you need to go look at Jake Ferguson. And when you look at Jake Ferguson, this thing will end. But if you come back to the chat and say, yeah, we're going to have a lot of 12 personnel going. Because Schultz, Ferguson, Ferguson's going to be our second tight end. And look, he very well could be our first. I'm putting it out there now. He can do it all. Exactly, Kevin. See, now you see what Kevin just said here. You gotta know your football. Look at what he just said there. If you know anything about the Wisconsin Badgers, or really anybody in the Big Ten, you know, especially Wisconsin, especially them, you know that what they tied, it is a requirement that you dominate in the run game. You ain't getting on the field. They don't care about these finesse tight ends. They don't care nothing about these pretty tight ends. No. When you go to Wisconsin for your 4 years or 3 years, you got to be able to hit people. Why do you think Wisconsin sends out all these linemen to the league? I mean, we're talking years. Why I'm just saying, you better go watch Jay Ferguson. That's all I'm gonna tell you. All right. I love the pick of Jay Ferguson. I don't see why everybody was upset. I saw people upset with that pick. Totally ridiculous. Now here's another one, and then I'm just going through, just give a brief synopsis. Overall, if you're just coming in, I think we had a very, very extremely solid draft. I do, with the exception of one pick to me, and that was the kid that had the back fusion surgery. I think we could have done something else. Exactly, Tavis. Tavis, a Keystone Cowboy. Travis Frederick came from Wisconsin. I mean, come on now. They ran the ball in Wisconsin every game. They run about 40, 50 times a game. I mean, come on. That's what Jonathan Taylor came from, the running back. That's what Melvin Gordon came from. I mean, come on now. The linemen, I wish I could have had, exactly, Greg. I wish I could have had just all the linemen. I'm about to maybe pull it up one day. All the linemen they have sent to the league in the last, say, 8 to 10 years. It's a pretty good list. No doubt about it. The Big Ten is different. All right. So let me go to the next name to everybody. Yeah, Tyler, exactly. Our center that we have now came from Wisconsin. So, I mean, come on now. Look, y'all need to understand. Go start watching these guys, man. I'm not trying to insult your football intelligence. I'm just saying, before we try to flush these guys down the toilet, saying these were bad. No, they were not. These guys, look, I'm not trying to be insulting, but here it is. I include myself. Will McClay knows more than we know. Can I just say that? Will McClay and his scouting department knows probably just a little bit more than we know. Okay? You trusted Will McClay. You got to trust him now. You know, yeah, Kevin. I'm glad I got some folks that don't mind admitting that these guys know a little bit more football than we know. You know, I watch it, I study it, I love it. Come on now. Will McClay knows. Now, one other name that I'll get out your way. Let me start here. You shouldn't have been surprised by Sam Williams. I told y'all that 4 or 5 weeks ago. When y'all saw Dan Quinn go down there and work him out, you should have, exactly, Greg. You should have already known. You should have already known that he was on our radar. Most people thought he was going to go second round in the first place. The Cowboys wasted no time. The card turned in so fast. Sam Williams. Nobody should not be surprised by that. Dan Quinn was on the field with him. Come on now. He worked him out. What we found out later is that Sam and Dan Quinn have been texting each other. Come on now. It shouldn't be no surprise. Now, Sam Williams is going to be a great player for us because he's a great player. He should have went in the first round, but you know how folks are, judgmental and this. And I hate to say this. I'm going to have to say something about this. I think he had a charge of sexual assault or whatever that got dismissed. He ended up playing with the Ole Miss Rebels after that, you know. But the NFL, some people say that's why he dropped y'all, to be honest with you, because of the charge. The kid is a first round talent, so we got a first round talent in the second round. Now, here's the thing: y'all know the stats. Y'all know he played in the SEC. You know, once you have a great year there, you're gonna get boosted up. He can play. Ain't no doubt about that. No doubt about that. None. But you got to project now. The kid is special. I'm telling y'all, he's special. Y'all like, okay. Y'all don't believe me. Go watch the tape. He has bend. He's strong. He can hold it at the line. He can get around the edge at a very fast pace. Forgive me for not knowing his 40 time, but please understand, he runs like a DB. I'm just telling y'all. Y'all don't understand what we just did. I'm excited about that bit because I can see something happening. I can see D-Law. I can see Sam Williams. I can see Dorrance Armstrong. I can see Dante Fowler. I can see I can see the pass rush for real. Constantly coming. Notice I ain't bringing Parsons' name yet. Oh, we finna get after the quarterback. Oh, ain't no doubt about that. We about to get after that. Coach got a whole list. I see you, Coach. One more thing. Let me show y'all this. Because see, y'all don't know these names. Because they ain't all Americans. And they ain't, they second team all conference and third team all conference. They won finalists for the college awards. That don't mean they can't play. Y'all better go look at John Ridgway, the 5th round pick, the nose tackle from Arkansas. Oh, okay. If you ain't seen him, you need to go pull him up. One Tech. Y'all been begging. Bohanna, him and Bohanna there. Come on, look. You throw him now in the mix with Ossie, Gallimore, Hill, Bohanna. Now you got him. Solid up the middle. I believe we signed Carlos Watkins. I don't know why, but I believe we got Watkins, but there it is. Off that. They have done an outstanding job with this draft. Solid draft. With the exception of that one for me. I don't have no problem with it. All right. Now some of these guys got to make the team. Now I'm still not familiar with the 5th round pick, the offensive tackle we picked up, Matt Walisco. I'm not familiar with him at all. I can't even lie to y'all about that. I don't know what we are. Greg says a top 10 defense. That was my formula. If you've been hanging with me, I've been saying it all the time. This defense needs to be, hey, Ron, I see you, man. Thanks for popping in, man. Ron Estrick, what's going on? I've been saying that the defense needs to be as strong as possible. I believe that's the unit where we can build on, make them, borderline elite, and we can win some football games because I don't think the offense is going to be the number one offense in the league, nor do they have to be. They don't have to be. I still believe they'll be efficient enough to be a top 10 offense. I believe that can happen. And if you got a top 10 defense and a top 10 offense, you're going to win some football games. A lot of them, actually. So we've addressed what we needed to address. We did that. Now the guys just got to make the team. Some of the guys aren't going to get on the field. Some are going to be special team. Appreciate you, man. Ron, what's going on? I think are you Fred? Are you a Divine Nine, Ron? I know you ain't with me. I know you ain't no Kappa, but I think are you a Sigma? Because Coach Price is on here. I'm just going to say hey to you, Sigma, brother. Everybody can't be a Kappa, so that's another whole story. So, anyway, I'm sorry, Coach. But anyway, solid. There you go. I know, Ron. I thought I remember that. Say hello to Coach. Coach Price, you got your fraternity brother in here. I'm surrounded by Sigmas now. Lord have mercy. Lord have mercy. Let me find my frat. Let me find the noobs real quick. I need to chime them in. Let me just go on. Let me go on get because y'all Sigmas will team up on me and all that kind of stuff. I gotta watch y'all. Y'all think I'm lying too. I'm not mad. Exactly. Hey, Karan, if you're a Cowboy fan and you're upset about this draft, man, look, I don't know what your problem is. We did mostly what you exactly. I mean, we did mostly what everybody asked for. We did. You just didn't know the names that came with it. That's all it is. You wanted all first team, all Americans. It don't work like that. It don't work like that, y'all. It don't. This was not a superstar draft of players. It was a very good draft with some real good football players. Not elite, but real good football players. Guys that can help your football team immediately. You can't tell me Sam Williams not going to help this team. Let me talk about this one guy. And y'all watch this right here because I got something. I don't know if anybody else have hit on it. I had listened to some of my other brothers like Boss and Law and West Coast. I ain't listened to them yet about their analysis. So I don't know, but maybe I'm the first to say this, maybe I'm not. Let me tell you what we also found out in this draft. Here we go, y'all. Watch this. Dak Prescott got a little power, don't he? Yeah, y'all heard it, right? Because the third round pick, Jaylen Toby, the wide receiver. By now, you heard how this all went down. I heard him say Dak got his number and text him and talking before the draft and talking about ball. And then you heard, I believe it was Coach Price, the wide receivers coach, and you also heard Will McClay say that Dak called Will McClay and said, this is a good guy to have on our football team. And I be dang. They drafted him. I'm going to change my little perception now because Dak got, he flexed a little bit and they responded. Now, a lot of y'all didn't like the pick. Let me tell y'all something about him, and I promise you I'm going to stop talking. I'm going to stop a little earlier than I thought I would. Jaylen Toby is a dog, y'all. Huh? Y'all ain't watching no film. Y'all didn't watch him. Y'all didn't watch him. Y'all didn't watch him. Y'all didn't watch him. If you watched him, you'll notice that he has attitude. He got a problem. A good problem. He has an attitude problem on the football field. He talk trash. He makes people look bad, just like Tyra Smith. Just like Tyra Smith, the first round pick. He talk trash. He wants to maul people. He wants to go ahead and knock people out there. Look, have y'all watched this kid? Great pickup. To me, he is the replacement for Cedric Wilson. See, when we draft wide receivers, y'all guys wanted Michie and Williams. Y'all wanted Chris Olave. You ain't gonna get these guys. They already gone. Stop it. Your first team All-Americans, they gone. They ain't the only great receivers in here. Stop, y'all. Y'all just didn't know the names. I didn't know nothing about Jay. I don't watch South Alabama play. What I'm watching that for? I didn't know nothing about him till I started watching these things after we picked them up. Oh, my goodness. Oh, my. If you don't know nothing about him, I'm telling y'all, he is a dog. He's a dog. Seriously, I'm serious. So we got a dog. Watch this. Watch this, y'all. We got a physical dog in the first round. We got a physical dog in the second round in Sam Williams. Of course, first round, Tyler Smith. 2 dogs. We got a dog at wide receiver, Jaylen Toby. I'm not going to put Jake Ferguson as a dog, but I will say this. He's physical. Y'all ain't seen him block. Go pull it up and watch it. DeRon Bland, cornerback. All cornerbacks got this cocky swag attitude. So we ain't going to worry about that. He's a cornerback. Now, we already know it's going to be hard for him to even get on the field. I mean, it's just the truth. It's going to be hard for him to get on the field. Clark, when healthy, the linebacker that I had got question marks on us picking, he's a dog. He's just a dog with a bad back now. They had spinal fusion surgery. I didn't like that pick. I ain't going to lie to you. I didn't like that pick because he's not going to play next year. And it ain't a guarantee he's going to play the following year. I don't know how much physicalness he can take with that type of injury. I have that injury. I have a spinal fusion surgery. Exactly. Greg, exactly. Ridgeway, a dog. John Ridgeway, nose tackle from Arkansas. Devin Harper, another dog. Let me tell y'all something. We done filled this team with guys that got some aggression in them, not finesse, not these our guys type guy. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. What's up, Terry? Our guys, that Jason Garrett language. We like our guys. No, the problem with the Cowboys is we are allergic to dogs. We don't want the Ray Lewis type attitude type guys. We got it this year. I'm shocked. We got it. No, they're not names that you know, but we got some dogs this year. And I love it. Huh? Yeah, Kevin, I didn't like it. I mean, I didn't say it three, 4 times. I don't think we should have touched him at all. I got that injury. I have the spinal. I got 4 screws, 2 rods in my back right now. I know that it takes something out of it. It does. And if you have that pain that goes down the side of your leg, the longest nerve in your body that is attached to your back, that's the problem that I have. If that, it make almost your leg want to give out. If he has that, and everybody don't have it. If he doesn't have that, then God bless him, he might make it. But if you got that pain that's going down your leg like that, even after the surgery, you're not gonna make it. Football is not the profession you need. I mean, I'm sitting down in a chair right now and I got pain going on now. I just turned my stimulator off. I'm serious, y'all think I'm joking. I can feel it. It's permanent nerve damage. I don't know if he has that. I have it. And you really can't do no activities like that. You just can't. All right, I'm done. Again, before I turn it over to all these you guys and myself, I know Coach Marv is chomping at the bit to get in here. I think it was a solid draft. If you want me to give a letter grade, I would give us a B, which is good. I'll take it. If they would have drafted Damon Clark, the linebacker from LSU, I would have gave us maybe a B plus. I don't like drafting guys who as projects. That's just me. You know what I'm saying? I don't like the Jaylen Smith type stuff. We did that. I didn't, and Jaylen was worth, waiting for. And he did what he could do for the time that his leg held up. I'll give him that. But okay, hold up, Coach. I see you. I know it's Coach. Yeah, I know Coach there. There he is. Yeah. So before Coach Marv started up, I would have gave us a B plus if he wasn't there. I just don't like the project. I need guys that's ready to play. I don't want to be waiting 2 years for this guy. That's just me. Especially I don't know if it's gonna be 2 years. That's just me. Some people may do it. That's just me. I don't like it. All right, I got my guy. I got my coach on here. Coach, before you start, Coach, I need you to answer my one question, then you can roll. How do you coach out a guy that has holding penalty? What you do? Hmm. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Right spot or move your feet, and your base is not square enough where you have to get your hands wild.
Mm-hmm.
With his power, he's going to be able to handle the strength. But now we need to work on him, moving his feet a little quicker and getting his hand placement inside, because his power is going to allow him to do that because he's got a strong base. He's a big man. He's a powerful man.
Okay.
If we think about it, Larry Allen. See, I go back a long time to Cowboys. When Larry Allen came out of Samoa State, people, he didn't come out of no big time Division I school, Samoa State. He came out with, one, he had a shoulder injury, plus he had a problem with holding. But Larry Allen was a mauler. He was extremely strong. When the Cowboys drafted him, they put him at guard. They put him in a box because he played tackle in college. But they put him in a smaller box, which we're going to do with Smith. Mm-hmm. And we use his mauling skills in the NFL, which you can get away with a little bit more handsy. Mm-hmm. And that's what he excelled at, because he was a mauler. Mm-hmm. I have no problem with, after I saw this guy, if he's a mauler and he holds, because I know I can coach that out of him by just working with his feet and working with his hand placement. Mm-hmm. But if he's like Connor Williams holding came because he was getting overpowered. And he was just trying to hold on because certain situations he couldn't hold the power with these big D tackles because he was small and he wasn't that strong. Mm-hmm. And a lot of times he got caught holding because he was just trying to hold on. Mm-hmm. And this guy's not just trying to hold on. This guy's trying to smash you. He's trying to slam you.
Mm-hmm. He's trying to destroy you.
And that's right. And that's something else he's gonna have to learn. He's gonna have to learn that he can't go WWF with these guys in the NFL. So that's where his technique with moving his feet, right, and placing his hands in the right spot, because he's gonna meet against stronger guys, but he already has the mentality of being a mauler, so that would translate and help the coaching of him in his technique. Mm-hmm. That's gonna help it. So it's easier to coach a guy from being too aggressive to become less aggressive and be able to be technique sound than it is for a guy that does not have aggression and does not have the power to become. You can't teach power. You can't get the guys in the NFL to make them tough.
So if I'm hearing you right, Coach, and I know you got some more to say, and I'm gonna give you your time. But so what you're really trying to tell me is based off your assertion of watching him. You're saying because he was so dominant and the way he was moving people around, that they threw the flag at him like, you can't be doing all this. And you just, without knocking somebody. And this kid was just knocking people around like bowling ball on a bowling pins, if you saw me. So what you're saying is because he was moving people around, he actually paid the price with these penalties because he was so dominant?
Right. Out of his 16 holding calls, with the V film I went and studied, 5 or 6 of those holding calls because he slammed the guy, and it looked like he was holding because he mauled the guy. And in college football, you got to understand, college and high school football, if you slam a guy, they're gonna call holding.
Uh-huh.
That's a. I don't care if you were moving him back and you just had your hands inside and threw him on the ground and fell on top of him, they're gonna call holding. Uh-huh. Because there's a little bit more restraints in college and high school with the hand placement.
Uh-huh.
In the NFL, he's gonna get away with some of that because this big boy football.
Exactly.
But he's not gonna be slamming guys like that in the NFL level. But he will still get movement. But he's just gonna have to get a little bit more technique wise. And I do believe moving him inside the box between a tackle and a center is going to help his foot movement and is going to allow him to release that power in a box. And that's what's going to make him better.
Let me ask you this, Coach, and I hate to keep going because I know you got some more, but look, if I'm coaching, I'm sorry, I'm just going to have to live that. I ain't trying to outcoach. I'm not trying to take that from him. That's his game. In pure intimidation. Yeah.
See, that's the thing I'm saying, Big Show. If you got a guy that's ultimately aggressive and there's a physical football and has a physical mentality, you ain't gonna take that away. You can't take that. You can't give him that.
Yeah.
You can't give him that.
Yeah.
But you can't take that away either because that is his mindset.
Yeah.
And that's what he's gonna always divert back to.
Yeah.
Being physical and being nasty.
Yeah.
So that's what you want, especially in the guard. And you know who's gonna love this more than anybody else if he really plays physical at guard? This guy's gonna help your center greatly. Yeah. You ain't gotta worry about Biage or maybe Conor McGovern moving to center because when you got two big dogs on the side like Martin and potentially what this guy could be, you're protected. Yeah. Now you can do your thing because you got two maulers that they put their hands on a guy. They stop the momentum right then, and now you can get to you can listen. You ain't got to worry about no bull rushing because you got two hands on both your sides. When they punch, they gonna stop the momentum.
Yeah.
And now you can do your work.
Yeah. I love it. Move on, Coach. You the man. Go ahead. What did you get?
My first point was when you talk about this draft, and I agree with you totally wholeheartedly. Let me give you my grade. My grade is a B also. Mm-hmm. And I don't give no draft an A because the grass will tell if it's an A or not.
Oh, yeah.
Right?
Yes.
So there's no A's.
Yeah.
So B is probably the highest level I can give them, but there's no A's. But I want to say this about the draft first thing. This draft, if Cowboy fans want to know what the word or phrase was the Cowboys draft this year and last year, it was a physical mentality and toughness culture change.
Love it.
That's what they would been going after from draft last year to this year. Mm-hmm. They're getting guys that are physically tough and nasty and a culture change. They didn't do it enough last year because they got to places like San Francisco and they got out toughed.
Yeah.
So again,
they got punked out, Coach. Call it like it is. They got punked out.
They went again this year and said, we are changing two things in these two drafts. One, we are getting bigger. We have increased outside because if people remember, before last year, we were one of the smallest defenses in the league. We was very small. We had a lot of small players. Mm-hmm. We went big, we went long, and we have gotten bigger. We have gotten bigger on the offensive line because Connor Williams was a very small. I think Connor Williams may have been 300, may have been 290, and he's a small guy.
He lost weight. He lost weight when he was playing, Coach.
Right. So you had a smaller, and your tight ends. Schultz was a smaller tight end. Blake Jarrell was tall, but he was lengthy. So
and finesse. Throw that one in.
Right. So we went bigger. We got bigger in our offensive line. The guy that we drafted, the other tackle, people, we talk about Wisconsin guys. Yeah. He came from North Dakota State. They don't know nothing but blocking and physicality.
Yeah. Oh, you talking about Matt Waletzko, the 5th round pick? That's what you talking about?
6'8". Now 6'8", very thin in the legs, but very physical and had an excellent Senior Bowl. And North Dakota State run the ball down your throat.
Mm-hmm.
So he know how to bend his knees and be physical.
Mm-hmm.
We went to a physical mentality. Look at it. Not only look at the player, look at the school that they come from.
Mm-hmm.
That they have mentalities of being physical.
Mm-hmm.
Whether the Tulsa guy, physical mentality.
Mm-hmm.
You get the second pick,
Mm-hmm.
long, speed,
Mm-hmm.
but he was a physical defensive end.
Mm-hmm.
You get a physical wide receiver. That was one of his traits.
Mm-hmm.
The linebackers you got, the guy from Oklahoma State, the last one you drafted, is
Harper.
a physical player.
Yes, sir. Harper. Yes, sir.
Not a very good cover guy, but a physical thumper.
Excellent in the run game. Excellent in the run game.
They said that that changed the mentality and the culture of the Cowboys is going to be more tougher, physically, mentality type players.
Yeah.
And it takes a while. It takes a couple of drafts for you to push some of the other guys out and bring the other guys in, because now you set the culture. These two drafts, the culture now is to be set because you got everybody that thinks the same way. We like to butt heads. We like to do it the physical way.
Yeah.
So now that culture has changed. Now you have to you go with that and you come over, because you can't, if you don't have the physical mentality guys, you can't give that to them. No. That's something you can't give to. You can't give speed, you can't give size, and you can't give physical mentality to no football player. You can give them technique, you can give them knowledge, but you can't give those other three.
Exactly.
That's God given. Yeah. That's either there or it's not.
Exactly.
So that's the first thing I want to say. This is what this draft was about, and I think they did an excellent job in that area. Mm-hmm. The second thing, when the one thing I didn't like is, and you pinpointed it so great about the linebacker at LSU. Yes, I like the linebacker film wise and what he brings. Yes, but he had a back injury. The Cowboys, again, the only mistake I may have seen them make, because they were patient and patient worked for them again, like it did last year. Mm-hmm. If you was going to take a chance on an injury linebacker, you could have taken Dean when he dropped to the third, because the problem was he was dropping because he had an injury and he probably would have had the red shirt. But who would you rather red shirt and bring in later the next year? Would it be Dean or this guy from LSU?
Mm-hmm. Exactly.
So I would have took that flyer then, because you got a guy that's not a second round pick. You would get a guy that, if he was totally healthy, would have been probably a top 10 pick.
No question.
In the third round.
No question.
But they went back to they stuck to their guns. They said that they weren't going to draft a linebacker to the fifth round. That's what they was going. They wanted. They had their slate of guys they wanted to get in the first 4 rounds. I'm not mad at that, because they got the type of mentality that they wanted to add to this team, and that is, when you do things that way, that is you sticking to your guns.
Exactly.
So this is what these last 2 drafts was about. Now we go to the point of, can we cook? So we got some groceries. We got some good cuts of meat.
Yeah, you can't.
From the butcher.
I can go and kill this now. It's hard.
We got some good cuts of meat from the butcher. We may not got all filet mignon, what people may say. It may not be all great, but it ain't no D cut. It ain't coming out of no bad stores, but it's a good cut of meat.
Yeah.
But if you don't cook it right,
there you go.
You don't season it right.
There you go.
You don't marinate it right and cook it at the right temperature, at the right in the right stove or on the frying pan in the right pan, and don't put the right seasoning on it.
You're gonna kill it.
You can tear that piece of meat up, and it just tastes like it came out the garbage.
Yeah.
Or you can season it right, and then when we look at this draft, we'll say we got all filet mignon because we done cooked it to perfection.
Yeah. Now you're talking about, of course, the one and only Kellen Moore. That's what you're talking about. Because I'm not worried about Dan Quinn at all. I'm not worried about
Dan Quinn.
You're worried about Kellen Moore.
That's my last point.
Yeah.
That's my last point. And it goes back to Mr. Smith at line. My problem here is you building this mentality of guys maulers.
With a finesse offensive play caller.
You can't take here you go. You won't take the aggressive. I said earlier, you're not gonna take the aggressiveness out of a person because that's already in them.
Mm-hmm.
But you could make them passive because you allow them to sit back and allow people to attack them.
Yeah.
And what you do is you taking the heart out of the lion. And if you take the heart out of the lion and you don't use the guy, if you don't use the guy in the way that is best suited for him to be able to be comfortable.
There you go.
That's any coach. If you don't utilize guys in the way that they can feel comfortable and play fast and have the right mentality, you can make them worse. Nick Saban and Bill Belichick together said these words: great players can't take bad coaching. Because if you put great players and you put them in bad coaching, you are going to lessen their talent because you're going to make them mediocre.
Love it.
Great players with good coaching become Hall of Famers.
Love it.
So can Kellen see that we done built this big, massive offensive line and we're building physical mentality, be committed. I'm not saying be run first, but being committed to controlling the line of scrimmage and letting these guys lay on people so the pass will become easier. You'll make the game easier for your quarterback. You'll make the game easier for your defense because you'll control the ball. And with this depth on defense, if we control the ball and let our defense play less snaps, they will not just be a top 10 defense. Mm-hmm. I'm believing this defense has potentially to be a top 5 defense.
Oh, you went top 5. I said top 10, but go ahead. Wow. Yeah, now we are after what we were saying. I'm with you. Go ahead.
Because if he gets the help from the offensive coordinator by being committed and being consistent and controlling the football, the less snaps that this defense, which has so much depth, plays and speed that they have, you're going to force teams to play right into the heart of what your defense does well. And this defense will benefit greatly from that. Not because they're bad, they're going to benefit greatly because they're going to be forced to score fast. And when we get to running after them and hunting the quarterback down with these 10, 11 defensive linemen we're going to be put down the field, now your defense is playing in their comfort zone. Turnovers come and this, but Kellen has to help his defense and not be this fast break, sputtering offense because he's trying to do something out of some Pop Warner book and become an NFL head coach. That's my only thing. You gave him the groceries of the type of mentality you want to be. Does he know how to cook with that?
The answer, we done had plenty of we've had plenty of years to find that out, and we already know the answer to that question. But they put the right people in. Hopefully, common sense will prevail, and maybe McCarthy will go ahead and start slowly but surely putting his foot down. Because that's the only thing. Kellen Moore is what he is. I refuse to fall for the hype. I just hope McCarthy.
It has to be McCarthy.
It got to be McCarthy. McCarthy got to put his foot down. He got to now.
He got to be a head coach.
Exactly.
He got to really be a head coach.
Because if he don't, Dak gonna throw the ball 35 plus times a game. I already know it.
That's right. He got to be a head coach.
Exactly. That's the only way it's gonna
work.
I'll
tell you one thing.
Go ahead. I'm sorry.
I'll tell you one other thing, Big Show. As we move into the second part, I want people the Cowboy fans understand I think the draft is over now.
It is.
Check your local listings because now Will McClay really goes to work because these undrafted free agents.
Yeah.
If you want to know who we're going to potentially try to bring in, go to the 30 visits that the Cowboys had. Check off all the guys that still left that didn't get drafted, either by the Cowboys or somebody else. They're going to be the first people the Cowboys call.
No doubt.
So
they'll be on our practice squads. They'll be on our practice squads, and with a chance to be on a lot of our special teams. No question about it.
That's right. The Bell guy, if he didn't get drafted out of Florida A&M, which is I think would have been a great pickup. Houston out of Jackson State. All these guys that was on there going to get their chance because they brought the same mentality guys in, but they just can't fit all those in to 8 or 9 draft picks.
Exactly.
So now they're going to go and try to build the roster with those guys to see if they can hit on 2 or 3 of those guys so they can have a roster of 12 that they brought in.
Exactly.
Now, the next point would be free agency. There is a third wave of free agency. I believe
with some good names.
They're going to have money. Cowboys got money.
Yeah, with some good names.
They got money. Now, defensive line, if you see some defensive linemen out there, forget about it. They ain't going no defensive line. The room is already too deep.
Too full.
They may go a veteran in the secondary, but I think the veterans they're going to bring back in the secondary, if they can't get a safety that's really come out of this undrafted free agency, or they need another corner, Maurice Cannon is still out there. He'll be back in Dallas.
It's going to be linebacker.
But the place where they're going to attack is
linebacker.
They still need another veteran linebacker because you only got one out the draft.
Yeah.
Luke Gifford is a special team player. He's not a linebacker.
Exactly.
LVE, if they got eyes and they're not just being just trying to be watch him. He needs to be replaced. So they will bring in a veteran linebacker, and I really believe it would be Anthony Barr because he got Coach George, the linebacker coach. He had him in Minnesota for a long time. They just waiting to get him to a point where he brings his price down. They will bring in one veteran linebacker, and they will bring in a veteran offensive lineman because of their linemen. Even with the ones they drafted, they only have, I think, 11 offensive linemen signed. So you got to have more than 11 offensive linemen. And so they'll bring a veteran in just in case your guard needs a look. He can't pick it up, or you got another problem with something else. They're going to bring another veteran presence in there. And that's what the Cowboys going to build. Now, when they do these things, I want y'all to say, dog, Coach Mar was right on. That's what they're going to do.
Exactly.
They ain't going to spend no other money on no other stuff. They may spend money on a backup quarterback if they have some type of injury in training camp. But that's where they're going. They did a great job. They did a great job in changing the mentality, the physical mentality and toughness to this football team.
Man.
That's what they went after. They got bigger, they got faster, and they got tough guys. Now we got to see if the coaches. Now we go from being fans about who we're gonna get. Now we need to get on these coaches' butt.
Yeah,
right.
That's the only way
to make sure that they can cook the stuff, put the stuff in the right place, and get the best out of every player on the roster. It's not about having the greatest players. It's about getting the best out of more of your players than other people do.
Exactly.
Get the best out of all 55, all pro years out of all their best career years out of all 55. You'll be standing in February with the Super Bowl. If you get the career year out of all 55 guys on your roster, you'll be standing because you can't go no wrong.
Love it.
You get career years out of all 55.
Mm-hmm. You're gonna go somewhere.
You can't do but win.
Love it, Coach. I appreciate you, man. I appreciate you so much.
All right, big show. Keep pushing, man. Keep doing what you're doing, brother.
Thank you, man. Thank you. Always great insight. As I always tell you guys, from a person like Coach Marvin Price, who obviously knows the game, coaches the game, knows a whole lot, and anything that he says cannot be a liability to what the show. Let me tell y'all something. As far as Tyra Smith goes, Coach brought it up. If I get penalties because my man is pushing the other team forward, rather than having somebody like Connor Williams where he gets his calls because he got ran over and he's going backwards, please understand I'm taking the guy that's going forward. If he's got calls, and Coach, that's why I knew Coach was going to know it, because I knew he was going to look at him. And he, as you heard it, if you didn't catch it, he said about, he had 16 penalties, I believe. And about 5 or 6 of them, I think he said, that it was because he was mauling people so hard that they just automatically assume that he's holding. No, he's just knocking them on their butt, hitting them in their mouth and then driving them to the ground. So they think he's holding on their part. I'd rather have, if I have a penalty, like I take penalties like that. I would. That's where the coaching part comes up. That's where it's going to happen. But I like his upside way more than I like his downside. Let me just say that. We need physical. That's how the Cowboys won traditionally. Dominant offensive line play, great running game, play action pass. That didn't just work for, Dak Prescott. That worked for Troy Aikman. Troy Aikman didn't really throw the ball a whole lot. Troy Aikman didn't throw the ball a whole lot. He didn't. Well, you got an all-world running back who's the leading rusher all time in the NFL. You didn't. Troy Aikman didn't throw the ball 30 times a game like Dan Marino and John Elway did. Troy Aikman was throwing the ball between 20 and 25 times a game. And Emmitt Smith, depending on how hard and how well he's rolling, was getting the ball at least, but at average, 25 times plus a game. Michael Irvin didn't have Michael Irvin didn't have no Jerry Rice, Sterling Sharp, from a couple years like numbers. He didn't have that. He was just dominant. Now, of course, over the career, he put up big numbers, but I'm just saying, when you say who's the best wide receiver in the game, you never, Michael was one of them, but nobody said Michael Irvin was the best receiver in football at the time. That went to Rice and Sterling Sharp and Andre Rison, if you remember him. Those names were had the type of stature like that. Michael was just dependable. He was a chain mover, but they'd all ran because of Emmitt Smith and that offensive line that we had. That's what we got to get back to. But we all know that because we've been saying it for years. But we have a problem. And this is just summed up in 2 words. Kellen Moore. That's what the problem is. Kellen Moore. Kellen Moore is a finesse, pretty, pinball machine type offensive coordinator. He is a pretty Boise State. That's where he played in college. Pinball machine, pretty formations, unusual formations, trying to outwit somebody type of coordinator. If you tell him it's 1st and goal from the 2-yard line, he's subject to come out in a shotgun rather than, a guy that will come in line your lineman up, get a fullback back there and say, we're going to run between the center and the guard on the right side, and there ain't nothing you can do about it. We're going to smash it right down your throat. That's not him. First and goal from the 2-yard line, it's going to be a shotgun. He'll throw a bubble screen. Y'all know I ain't lying. Y'all know that. And it's kind of hard. Exactly, Coach. It's kind of hard to see all this physicalness coming in when you already know what type of coordinator you have. And it's hard. Now I saw Scott, and y'all know I don't like Scott Linehan either, because it's really the same thing. The 1 year that Scott Linehan finally got it together and said, okay, we need to win this way, was the year that y'all saw DeMarco Murray almost run for 2,000 yards. And the Cowboys went at least to the divisional round, where we got robbed by Green Bay with the Deads, didn't catch it the game. That was all because DeMarco Murray. They ran DeMarco Murray till the wheels fell off. DeMarco Murray wasn't the same after that. Matter of fact, he wasn't too much long before he left, before he got out the league. That was the 1 year. Tony Romo ain't never handed the ball off so much in his life. Tony Romo had his best year that year. Dak Prescott don't have no business throwing the ball 35 plus times a game. No business. He's not that type of quarterback. But we've been saying this for the last 2-3 years, but yet nothing has changed. There's nowhere in the world Tony Pollard's supposed to only have 4 carries in the playoff game. 4 carries. 4. When we consistently look at game after game, Ezekiel Elliott, if he gets 15 carries a game, you're shocked. We don't even say 20 times. I tell you, like I said before, if you're not familiar with Kellen Moore, all you gotta do is just go pull up the last three years. You count on your hand how many times Ezekiel Elliott got the ball 20 times in a game, carrying the ball. You tell me. It's unbelievable. But then on the other hand, you tell me how many times you can count how many on your hand. How many times did Dak Prescott throw the ball 35 plus times in the game? You're going to need about 5-6 hands. It's not the way you do it. When you have an offensive line, like I said before, I'm one of the ones that said, I don't know how good our offensive line is, because every play they backing up. I don't know how dominant they could be. They never ran the ball. I don't know. They never had a chance to lay on guys, and move. They never did it. They were on their heels, pass blocking. I don't know how good they were. I don't know how. I mean, we know Connor Williams got destroyed in the passing game. We know that. But what I don't know really is how well over a 4-quarter game can he wear somebody down? I don't know, because there wasn't the play calls didn't show that. I don't know how good he could have been. +1-803. I don't know. 03584. Got another call in. Let me see who this is.
Call from
Coach Bob. More comments.
To accept, press 1. To send a voice.
Coach called in. What's up, Coach? Do it again.
Hey, Big Show, I got one comment, and you got me so fired up with this about this. Oh man, about Ezekiel Elliott and running the football.
Mm-hmm.
I want to tell you the total indictment, and I want your fans to understand this. We had an undrafted quarterback that should even be in the NFL, in Ben DiNucci, on a Sunday night football game against our rivals on the road. We had a healthy Tony Pollard, a healthy Ezekiel Elliott, and this undrafted quarterback in his first NFL game threw the ball 40 times.
Ridiculous.
In a game that we were leading going into the fourth quarter.
Ridiculous. Ridiculous.
The first, listen here, he ranked as one of the leading quarterbacks in attempts for a rookie in his first start in the NFL.
Mm-hmm.
And there were guys that were drafted in the first 5 or 6 picks. And in their first game, even the quarterback out of Alabama that went to the Miami Dolphins started his first game that same week.
Mm-hmm.
He threw the ball 17 times, and he was a Heisman Trophy candidate and had over 5,000 yards in college and was a 5th pick in the draft. He threw the ball 17 times in his first start against it with Miami. But Ben DiNucci, an undrafted guy out of a small school called James Madison, I think, which we see that was not a good quarterback.
Shouldn't even be a practice.
Your offensive coordinator went in this game and had him throw the ball 40 times when you running backs ran for 127 yards in the game and you were leading in the 4th quarter.
Totally ridiculous.
And that tells the whole story on Kellen Moore.
Exactly. It's horrible. Appreciate you, Coach, again on it. In the words of the great Johnny Cochran, we rest our case.
We rest our case.
All right, Coach. All right. I mean, let's just say it like this. Hopefully, since we all know that Kellen Moore is a disciple of Scott Linehan, hopefully this year he follows in the footsteps of Scott Linehan that one year where Scott Linehan just ran the ball down folks' throat. That one year. Hopefully Kellen Moore will follow in his coordinators, his guru, his mentor, really the only offense that he's ever known. I've said it so many times, and I think it's just another good place to say it again. If you don't know nothing about Kellen Moore, he was played at Boise State. For those that remember, every time you seen a play call, Kellen Moore was in the shotgun. That's what Boise State football was all about. He set all type of records there. It wasn't, you couldn't even name a running back from Boise. Kellen Moore just lined up in the shotgun the whole game. Bam. When he got drafted to Detroit. Who was the offensive coordinator in Detroit at the time he got drafted? You guessed it, Scott Linehan. If you remember what they did, here we go. Matthew Stafford was the quarterback. Megatron, Calvin Johnson, was the wide receiver. You can't even name me a running back during that time other than Reggie Bush, and Reggie Bush was getting balls thrown out the backfield. All you remember from those offenses was Matthew Stafford throwing the ball 900 feet in the air and Megatron going up and getting it. That's all you remember. Because they threw the ball nonstop. That's all they did. Scott Linehan then leaves to Dallas to become the offensive coordinator. Kellen Moore then gets traded to Dallas. Who was the offensive coordinator when he got there? You guessed it, Scott Linehan. So all this kid knows is the offense of Scott Linehan and the offense of whoever the coordinator was when he was at Boise State. What did he do in Detroit? Pass the ball. What did he do at Boise State? Pass the ball. What did he do when he came to Dallas? Tony Romo, what did he do? You guessed it. Threw the ball. So we're asking for the impossible, to be honest with you. Because Kellen Moore's been in the seat. You had these all-pro linemen, and yet my running back can't get the ball but 12 times a game. So even with the guys we got, that's why Coach and I were saying just a few minutes ago, Coach McCarthy has got to put his foot down and say, look, we have to run the ball. This running back has to get this amount of carries in the game. The other running back has to have this amount. We can't have both running backs combined for only 14 carries in a game. We just can't have that. If not, we're putting too much on Dak, and Dak is not that guy. He's not. He's not. Dak don't have no business throwing the ball 35 plus down. Kellen Moore is going to be the wild card, and you're going to hear this from me until game 1. You can, Coach Barr put it perfectly. You can have all the ingredients. You can have all the right groceries. But if you don't have the right chef, you're going to be in trouble. That's the way I see it. All right, the call-in line is open. Y'all can go ahead and call in for those that have wanted to come in. I just gave Coach his time on that because I knew he would have tremendous insight on what we were talking about. Overall, for those that may have come in just a little bit later, those of you that are on Podbean, what's up, man? What's up? I think my guy Saturday Night Smoke done popped in. Hello, Parissa, whoever you are. Hello. On Podbean. Smoke is in the building. If you have, again, I'm sorry. I'll say this. I thought that we had a solid draft. If we were going letter grade, I would give it a B. It would have been a B plus if they wouldn't have drafted that linebacker from LSU who's probably not going to play for 2 years almost, maybe. That's the way I look at it. But overall, we addressed the needs that the Cowboys, number one, felt. But you smart Cowboy fans, you can just tell by the draft that they addressed the areas of which most of us said they needed to address. So we all were on the same page. I applaud you guys because you guys are some smart football fans. You know your team. The Cowboys pretty much felt the same way. Offensive tackle, wide receiver, linebacker. That's what the Cowboys did. A lot of you, if you want to go edge rusher again, they addressed that with Sam Williams being brought in. And I'm going to tell you something, ladies and gentlemen, those that may be watching this later on or listening to this by Spotify or Pandora or wherever you're listening to me from. When it comes to Sam Williams, I hope y'all are not underestimating how powerful that pick is. If you ain't watched Sam Williams, you better go check him out. That's all I'm going to say. This kid can get it done at a very violent pace. Y'all better check it out. Check out, again, everybody. I was not aware of Matt Walesko, and Coach brought it out, the 5th round offensive tackle that we picked up from, I believe he said, from the North Dakota State. I believe that's right. I'm not familiar with him. As soon as I get off here, I'm gonna go pull him up and look at him. 6'8", over 300 pounds, obviously. I don't know about. I can't even speak to him because I haven't peeped him out. But I'm leaning on what Coach said earlier, that he's a great pick. So I'm kind of anxious to see what he brings to the table, because what they also done, and this ain't been brought up, at least for on today, what the Cowboys also have done is created a tremendous sense of competition for a lot of spots. You know, I'm saying when you bringing all these offensive linemen in, there's going to be some competition there. I'm assuming that Tyra Smith is going to be our left guard day one, but I don't know that. You know, I don't know what Connor McGovern has done this offseason. I don't know. I don't know if he's got stronger, bigger, what. I don't know what he's done. I don't know. But I guarantee you this, it's going to be some competition. When we start talking about Sam Williams, well, I mean, you got Armstrong, you got D-Law, you got Dante Fowler, who we just signed in. Now we got Sam Williams. So I mean, we know D-Law is going to be the starter on the run side, but can we really say who's going to be the other end? Is it Dorrance Armstrong? Is it Dante Fowler? Or could it be Sam Williams? The grass, as Coach said earlier, is going to tell that tale. I'm just saying, I love the competition that's being done. Even with the wide receiver, we assume that Lamb is number one. We know that's going to happen. James Washington probably is going to be, starting off our number 2 because Gallup probably won't be ready. But when Gallup comes back, you figure James Washington will probably move to number 3 wide receiver. But really, is that the truth? Or is this kid Tolbert going to take over? I don't know that. I don't know. You see the competition that's being set up? I mean, it's going to be a violent training camp. I love it. With the defensive tackle from Arkansas, John Ridgeway. You would figure that our defensive line is intact once you got Tristan Hill and Gallimore and then Osei and then Bohanna, who got picked up last year. But this kid from Arkansas is a dangerous football player. You better go check him out. I don't know if Bohanna is our 4th D tackle. I don't know. I mean, I don't know. I don't know. It's about to be some competition. That's what you want. That's what you want when you go to training camp. You want everybody thinking somebody taking your job. I think Dak Prescott and Zeke probably the only ones that, and Zach Martin and maybe, and the Tyra Smith, all these guys. Some it's gonna be some competition. Let me say this. Dalton Schultz just got some competition. I'm telling y'all better go check out Ferguson from I forgot. Yeah. I forgot about Semi, Greg Semi from the FICO. Well, I may have pronounced it wrong, from Stanford, the wide receiver. Exactly. I don't know if I don't know. I mean, it's a bit of competition going on. Now, I will say this about Schultz. The Cowboys need to go on sign him and go on make your mind up and go on sign him to a long-term deal. It look like he's one of those guys that Cowboys love, the organization. Go on sign him to a long-year deal and free up some more money. Get him off the franchise tag. I forgot when the date is with that, but go on get him off the franchise tag. Go on sign him because you're going to keep him. So go on sign him. Get him off the franchise tag so you can free up some more money. And we be able to do even some more things possibly this year before the season even starts, because the Cowboys have money. Get some more. Go on, get that settled. Go on, get it settled. And if they're not doing that, I'm telling you, Ferguson is going to challenge Dalton Schultz this year, because he's already, in my opinion, a better blocker than Dalton Schultz right now. Coming out of college. I'm serious. He's a better blocker today already than Dalton Schultz. And he can catch a football. He just doesn't have the knowledge of the offense yet that Dalton Schultz has. And Schultz is a pretty good player. I like Schultz. But if you're talking about running the football, dangerous. That 12 personnel is going to be a dangerous formation for us if they run it. You got Ferguson and Schultz as your tight end. Whoever the running back going to be coming out the backfield, and another wide receiver. I mean, come on now. That's dangerous. I can see Dak killing that. Play action going to be wide open. I'm telling y'all. I can see it. But will Kellen Moore call it? Will Kellen Moore call it? That's going to be my problem. Smoke, what'd you say, man? Oh, yeah. So see Smoke come in. He said, I love the nastiness of the defensive players pick. That's what we've been talking about. It's an attitude. The offensive players got attitude also, Smoke. You need to go check them out. Check them out. They got attitude problems. Smoke said the honey badger. You know, I don't know what you're saying right there, Smoke, but the Cowboys wouldn't be interested in the honey badger because I believe they settled on their safeties. I don't think we're going to open that up, you know, between Hooker and Donovan Wilson and Curse. I don't think they're going to go after honey badger. I don't think so. I think they're settled there. No doubt about it. All right, ladies and gentlemen, I'm done. Y'all didn't call in, so we're gonna set this thing up. We'll talk more about Monday, and we'll spend a little bit more time on a few of these guys because we really need to educate ourselves. Some of these guys won't even see the field this year. Let's just be honest. They'll probably make special teams. Some of them will. There may be even some just make practice squad that's on this team. But for what they needed, they did well in the draft this year. Kudos to Will McClay again, who did a great job again. He knows what he is doing. He has proven it again. No doubt about that. Will McClay and his scouting department have done an outstanding job of getting the proper people and quality type players for this team for this year. We are better than no. We're better than what we were a few weeks ago. Let me put it that way. And no, I'm not saying, you know, Amari Cooper is a big loss. The only person that's going to make that go away is CeeDee Lamb. If CeeDee Lamb explode this year, we'll forget about Amari Cooper. That's the only person that can change that. If the Cowboys are right about CeeDee Lamb, then if he has a real breakout year, then it's going to make us forget about Amari Cooper. He's the only one that can change that. So the jury is still out on that part. Let me just put it that way. The wild card is Kellen Moore. I just believe we're going to be all right. All right. I'll see you guys Monday, 7 p.m. Am I right? Yeah. 7 p.m. Monday Central Time. Monday, 7 p.m. Central Time. We'll talk about some of these guys a little bit more in depth. I'm going to do a little bit more research on some of these guys so that I can be prepared to talk to you guys a little bit more. I really like what we did in the draft this year. I do. Appreciate you, Joe, from Italy. Thank you, man. Thank you for hanging with me. Before everybody leave, let me just do this real quick. If you want to support the podcast, if you like what I do and want to support it, that's one way you can do it. $, Cash App, $, The Big Time Show. The Big Time Show, $, The Big Time Show. You can do it like that. This is actually wrong. Let me hide this. This. There's another way you can do it. If you want to become a supporter, monthly supporter of the Big Time Show podcast, there it is for you on your screen, the Big Time Show 3.supercast.com. What it does is, if you want to contribute monthly, whatever you want to contribute monthly, you can do it. There's no certain amount that you can do it. I ask for $5 a month, but if you don't want to do that, it's perfectly fine. You want to give $1 a month or $2 or $3, I'm cool. And if you don't want to give anything, I'm still cool because this is not my primary source of income. It's just a habit that I've developed that I like so much. Talking ball with some few folks that like ball like me. Greg is gonna be Monday at 7:00. Monday night, 7:00. That's when my next show is. We'll talk about even more stuff in depth, and it'll be like that. Let me see one other thing. If you're not following me, this is what you need to do. I haven't been pumping this out, and it's my fault. I need you guys to follow me, especially on one of these channels. I need you to follow me on my Twitter page at Big Time Lou. And then especially if you will, this would really help you boy out. If you do not follow me on my YouTube channel, please do that. I know a lot of you follow me on Facebook. That's cool. But if you could just help your boy out and just go to my YouTube page, just search out the Big Time Show, and then subscribe to it, and then turn on those notifications, that bell. And whenever I go live, like I am now, you'll get that notification on your phone or computer or whatever. And you can join in and watch me the same exact way that you're watching me from Facebook or Twitch. And it's there. So I would appreciate you guys if you really would do that for me. I thank you for those that have made that call. I would appreciate it. I appreciate you, Joe. Joe already said he followed me on YouTube and Facebook. That's what I'm talking about. Thank you so much, Joe. One of the faithful listeners of the podcast. I appreciate y'all so much. Listen, it's time to get out of here. Get ready for Monday. Y'all guys go watch some of these players that we picked up. That's what you need to do, so you won't be so angry. Some of y'all Cowboy fans are angry because you don't know who these folks are. All right, come on, let's go. Now, before we leave, y'all know how we get out of here. We celebrate, and you have a reason to celebrate. Yes, you do. Will McClay and the Cowboys did it again. They did. They had a pretty good draft again. That's a reason to celebrate. We got some help. We got some help. We did get some help. We don't know what they're going to amount to, but we got some help on this for this draft this year. We got some help. That is to be applauded. That is to be the drafting has never been a problem. That has never been a problem. The problem has been when it get to the contract table and the coaching. See, Will McClay does his job excellent. This is where the Cowboys shine in the draft. That ain't never been the problem. The problem is after the draft. When you got to go to Kellen Moore, and when you got to go to when you got to get the contracts done and all that kind of stuff. This part here is the easy part. They do an outstanding job with that. Now the fun begins. Hopefully things will get right. And hopefully, because let me throw this in. I didn't say it, but I'm gonna say it. Now, you know, we were talking about Dean earlier. You do realize what Dean ended up, right? Philadelphia Eagles. You do know where Jordan Davis went, right? Yeah, you guessed it. Philadelphia Eagles. You do realize that Fletcher Cox is still in Philadelphia. Can you imagine Jordan Davis and Fletcher Cox? The Philadelphia Eagles did trade to get A.J. Brown, right? So they have two number one wide receivers, A.J. Brown and Devontae Smith. That's two number ones on the same team. You do know they got Dallas Goedert as their tight end. Y'all do realize that, right? You do realize the Giants got Thibodeau and Neal, the tackle from Alabama. You do realize Washington got better. The NFC East got better. Philadelphia definitely got better. There's no doubt about that. No doubt. So the Cowboys had better do something. Yeah, hey, Cowboys. Yeah, the Eagles picked it. The Eagles got better. No doubt about that. And the only question mark is, can he, Jalen Hurts. That's it. That's the only question mark of them. So they got better. We had better step it up a notch and get better, and I think we have. The Eagles just got a bunch of, flash names The Cowboys got solid. And I'm not saying Jordan Davis and Dean are not solid. I'd be a fool to say that. But they got better and trading for A.J. Brown. That's pretty good. So they got better. We had better get better. And then we just get better, and hopefully these rookies will be able to step up and step in, along with our second-year players, Bo Hanna and guys like that. Hopefully we'll be able to maintain from a pretty good year last year overall. All right? All right, I'm out for real this time. We'll see you Monday, 7 p.m. Monday at 7 p.m. For the Big Time Show podcast. Hold on a second. Okay. I had to see that. I thought I had a call in from a very familiar number, but I didn't. All right. Monday for 7 p.m. Central Time. I'll be with you. Go ahead and let's get out of here by clapping your hands. Let me see the clap emojis one more time. Clap your hands out here. If you ain't going to put it there, at least clap your hands at your computer. Clap your hands in your car. Clap your hands as you watching me on your phone. Y'all know how we groove on out of here. Groove, everybody. Groove with me. This is, yes, sir, the Big Time Show.